Hello and welcome to Last Time On. This is the podcast where we've picked a show, in this case Alias, that none of us have ever seen. We watched the pilot, we rolled some dice, we skipped a bunch of episodes, got to the finale, made a bunch of predictions. We guessed what happened last time on, but now today is our recap episode, and we get to finally find out what actually happened last time on. I'm Jafar.
I am Ben.
I'm Victor, and you are listening to the only podcast on the internet that uses the words defense straight and gooning as often as we possibly get a chance to.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm sure there's other podcasts that use one of those two frequently, but both I think feels very distinctly us.
If we ever watch a show where someone gets defense straighted whilst gooning, I just want to win the entire podcast.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think we all win. I think the podcast wins. So we've got an Alias synopses to go over.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Now, I told you guys I found the perfect website for this.
You did.
And I've only got seasons 1 through 3 completed on their recap, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
They stopped running their website at a certain point, and I don't know why it's still up. But to give you an idea of what we're working with here, go ahead and crawl your little browser, if you so desire, over to twoevilmonks.org.
TWO or 2?
TWO.
twoevilmonks.org. Okay.
I've withheld this so we can get initial reactions.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
oh,
right?
Wow, we've got a few shows on here.
5 shows
that
they didn't cover completely.
So, this is that GeoCities-esque site that you mentioned.
Yes.
This feels like I'm going to get a virus.
You might. You might already have one, Ben. But
if we won't
find out about that, but we will find out what happened in Alias.
So this does bring me to a funny thing. I was looking for something like we had for Billions, like, is there a video recap of this? And somebody on the Alias subreddit was like, hey, does anybody have any Alias, season synopses so I can go back and just watch season 5? And it was helpful. All they said was, why? Why would you want to do that? The show got terrible after season 3. So apparently that is at least the opinion of the Alias subreddit, was the show kind of went off the rails the last couple of seasons.
Yeah. Well, I'm showing here is we've got season 4. We just don't have season 5 on this.
Well, season 4, if you look at the synopses, it is not complete.
Oh, it's not. Well, we've got some of
it's just
they have
pictures from the episodes.
Yeah.
This is so interesting.
I mean, this looks kind of perfect. I mean, just pictures from the episode.
Yeah.
Well, but there are 11 pages per episode.
I did not see that thing at the bottom. Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, that makes it a little difficult. All right, well, I mean, we can go to season 3 and just see what the hell. They did the same thing with season 3. It's like we're putting together a PowerPoint for every episode.
Yeah,
Kurt
so we
Fuller
can go
was in
over.
this show.
So the individual episode synopses are a bit much.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the top bar, and on the second bar, there's a synopsis link, which is what we'll be using.
Okay. I'm not seeing this synopsis link. I must be in the wrong area of this.
It's cool. I'll throw a link in the the
synopsis.
Chat
there it is. Sorry.
Oh, you got it? Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Okay. Oh, yeah, this is very useful.
Yeah. So this is what we're going to be using for seasons 1 through 3. And then seasons 4 and 5 will be using a bit shorter of the Alias Wiki, their synopses. These will not answer all of our questions that we have, but it should get us a decent amount of the way there. Before we go over this synopsis, we've totaled our points. What are we at confirmed points, each of us right now? Do we have that done? That math done?
No, I was gonna save that for the podcast to go over together.
Well, we're on the podcast now.
Yeah.
So I will say, before this, I have been going through the Alias wiki because it was really nice to have a wiki that like actually fully covers the show. And I will say the season recaps on the Alias wiki are nice because they even do like major through lines through this season. You know, ways that it's different, ways that it's the same. So with
but didn't you say that one's incomplete as well?
It's
the
not
Alias wiki
as
is
complete. The Alias wiki is pretty good.
Oh, okay.
I just like using this other site because it's fun.
I see. All right. Well, okay, we can go back and forth. That'll be useful.
So out of the stuff that I have confirmed, 17 points.
Okay.
Okay, 17 points.
I'm sitting at 24 confirmed right now.
I don't know what I'm
Anything that
saying.
is questionable, even though with some of it's stuff that we saw, I have left open for debate. That 24 is like, this is stuff that definitively happened. It's not questionable.
Gotcha. Well, let me see here. I got, I did run the board. No, I got 3 points there. Okay, let me just go through here. So I got my for round one, I got my 3 music montages. I got my strategically placed nudity. I did not get the Bradley Cooper as a spy.
We're going to go through all of them, so...
Yeah. But do we want to just go ahead and do it now?
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to get an idea. If you know what ones of yours are questionable, it might be fun to bring those up now so that way as we talk about it, we can see if they happen. But if you haven't done that work, don't worry about it. We'll just move on. I've got all my questionable ones pulled out already.
So the only ones I have that are questionable, one, so I thought Techie McCarthy was going to be a more important character than he was. He doesn't even have a page on the wiki. So I don't know if he ever meets Marshall. That's sad.
If he
don't
doesn't
know
have a page on the notably thorough wiki, I'm gonna guess the answer's no.
He's in 7 episodes. So I was just like, okay, like maybe it happens, but you can't click on his name. I don't know if there was more Sydney DNA than what she flamethrowered in Patagonia. I don't know if Nadia was the choseneer one.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
I don't know if Sydney and Vaughn actually get married. We know they have a kid. We know they hook up, but we don't know if they get married. So that one's up in the air for me. I said Frankie, actual Frankie comes back. Don't know.
I can tell you, Jafar, she does not. She is dead early in season 2. Fake Frankie comes back.
Well, we do see her in a flashback in the finale, though.
That's earlier in the timeline.
Okay, I don't remember defining it that way, but that's fine. I'll go ahead and mark myself as a no for that. Sid fakes her death 3 times over the course of the series, 3 or more.
I don't know about that one.
The baby is a sibling, not a cousin. In Arena's picture of her holding the baby.
Oh no, that's just Nadia.
Okay. I did specify 3rd sibling, which means not Sydney or Nadia, so I don't think I get that point.
Although apparently there is a theme of Irina's sisters also showing up.
Oh, okay. Nadia has some big ruse or plot. She inherited rusing from Arena.
That doesn't seem to be the
Rusing
case,
is in the
although...
DNA.
So, she does get brainwashed by her mom due to some crazy chemicals in the water, but it is
doing
against her
rusins.
will.
Yeah, but if she's doing rusing, then she's still rusing.
She is being used. She is not rusing. Rusing requires consent.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. Okay. And then there's a mystical book.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'll take those points.
I mean, didn't we
okay.
see the mystical book?
I don't remember seeing a book. We saw like a Hellraiser.
Admiral
contraption.
Pressman shows the picture of Sydney from the 500-year-old book.
Oh, okay. Cool. Points.
But
I'll take it.
there are more mystical documents.
Yeah, that
I-
makes sense.
I found.
All right. There's a bunch.
It's all Rambaldi
There's a-
bullshit.
There's a Rambaldi artifacts page on this Two Evil Monks website, and I really want to
A whole page
gloss
just
over
for
that real quickly
Rambaldi.
at some point.
It's-
But Vic, do you know your undecideds, or should we just move on?
Okay, so according to my math, I have 19 confirmed points, and
Okay.
I've got room for 6 unconfirmed. That could be pending.
Okay.
I got my ass kicked.
So
So
what,
that
what are
puts
you
you
at?
at
Jafar?
most 25.
Right.
Ben, what's your max right now?
Oh God.
Because I'm at 26.
Yeah, damn it! You got to be kidding me.
23. So
Fuck berries.
Ha!
Man, did it again.
I win before the synopsis. All right.
All right. Well, that simplifies things. Fuck.
I don't have to
bef-
worry about digging for how many times Sydney faked her death. Let's just get into the synopsis, shall
Do
we?
you, do you
don't
have
to
your
go.
next?
Sorry, I
do
couldn't
you-
complete the three-peat, even though it
do you,
feels
do you
like a
have your
three-peat.
series? Do you have your series picked out for next season, Jafar?
He's gonna have Laura pick.
Laura gets
Oh,
to pick because
right.
she
I
won a
forgot about
quiz
that,
over on Who Are You.
Okay.
So if you go listen to our season recap episode of Who Are You,
yeah.
Laura made a handful of predictions. She got very close to winning my quiz, but there is something that she has said over the course of the show previously that is an insanely accurate prediction.
I think I
that
know
she
which
had
one you're talking
no
about.
right-
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that in mind, spoiler chat forced my hand, if it were, to
Nice.
And I will
to
say,
cede that
listener,
victory
if
to
you're
her.
listening and you're like, but Ben, you did pick the last 3 shows. No, I picked Alias and Billions. Jafar picked Viper.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
true.
we should say the dice picked. Jafar's dice picked Viper.
It's true. And they
Yeah.
truly did. I know you don't believe me most of the time when I roll the dice. They really
Yeah, I
did
remember.
pick
I remember. I
Viper.
texted you and was all just like, "Were you just being nice?" And Jafar was like, "No, I'm never nice to Ben." Well, but before we move on, before I forget, I thought of something the other day.
Yeah.
Would it be possible, just hypothetically, for us to do a documentary TV series or like a reality show? Like I was thinking something like Ghost Hunters or Deadliest Catch along those lines. Would that work? Could we do something like that? I mean,
Okay,
just
see,
hypothetically.
Victor,
curious.
was something like the Deadliest Catch.
Documentary, I would say no.
Okay.
Because if it's all factual and it's all stuff that is like happened,
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I see.
like something like Serial, where it's like a murder mystery kind of documentary thing, as long as we're all unaware of the case, I think that'd be fine.
Yeah.
But anything that's like about actual history, I think that there's too much of a chance that between Ben and I, mostly Ben,
Oh, fuck
We'll-
you. You
we'll
think I don't
already
pay
know
attention to
about it.
things? You're right, but it's rude of you to point it
So,
out.
Victor, the problem is with something like, with most reality shows, especially something like, I don't know, Deadliest Catch,
Yeah.
each episode, well, they're all the same. And only the names will change. Every
Yeah.
day, it seems we're wasting
away.
away.
Yeah. Well, I was
Yeah,
thinking
that's
because
true,
I've
though.
been meaning to watch Ghost Hunters, and I don't know if I just want to watch Ghost Hunters, but that would be cool. It would be great.
How about you do that on your own damn time?
Okay, fine. But no, someone was mentioning the other day how I think the series on Netflix is called Monsters, where it like makes a dramatization of the first. Yeah, like
that-
season 1 was Jeffrey Dahmer. I think
Yeah.
the Menendez brothers next.
I've heard some things about that show being quite problematic.
Well, of course it's
Is
problematic.
it
It's
another
about-
one of those, like, oh, we're pretending that the Menendez brothers are totally cool?
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of sympathy. I would have to talk to Beth about it. And
Oh, I mean, I'm just curious. I was just
I
thinking.
don't know
Like,
the exact problems,
yeah.
but I recall conversations about there being problems. So we'll talk about all that later, though, because it doesn't matter for this time because you're not
Yeah.
picking the fucking show. So we'll get to that. We can worry about the details of it later. I want to get
Okay.
into the synopsis.
Like I said, I was just tossing ideas around. Okay,
Yeah.
speaking of tossing shit around, go ahead and just.
All right.
Bring
We
us-
open. So this synopsis, we get a like 6 panels that are the first episode, right?
Yeah.
We spent time on it. A lot of the stuff from the very beginning of this first season
Okay,
1 synopsis is the first episode. So I'm gonna go over it pretty quickly and skip some
Yeah,
of it.
We don't need to read it verbatim.
So we got Sydney Bristow. She's a spy. She works for SD6, which she thinks is part of the CIA. She's in grad school, majoring in English Lit. She's seeing a guy named Danny, a nice young doctor. He proposes, and then she tells him that he's a spy, and then he leaves a voicemail and gets killed for it. And that's all bad news. Over the course of this, Sydney goes a little bit on the run here. Her dad saves her, and he surprises, I'm also a spy, and I also work for SD6. She goes to Hong Kong. She steals some funny-looking metal thing with like a red ball. There's a bunch of to-do, but she gets her job back. But she also goes and becomes a double agent for the CIA. She's working with Michael Vaughn, who will be her contact. And then we, let's see, she begins her life as a double agent. She wears a lot of wigs. She works with her nice SD6 partner, Dixon, who thinks he works for the CIA. She gets lots of gizmos for her missions from Marshall, SD6Q. And this is the usual double agent scenario. Sid gets a mission assigned by SD6, then she meets with Vaughn, usually in a self-storage building, and tells him all about it. He then tells her what the CIA wants her to do on the mission, like making copies or substituting fake stuff for real stuff. After the mission, she hands over the goods and info. After the mission, she hands over all that stuff to Vaughn. And, that's just how most of these episodes go. In Sydney's other life, she has two close friends, her housemate Francie, and her reporter friend, Will Tippin. Francie is finishing her MBA and is planning to open a restaurant someday. She gets engaged to a schmuck, but that falls through. She has no idea what Sid does and has no strong storyline in this season. This site is brutal. I love it.
Nice.
Reporter Will Tippin wants to help Sid. He just wants to help find Danny's murderers despite pleas from Sydney to let it go. Oh, so he gets some anonymous aid from an anonymous caller who puts him on the track of a mysterious organization called SD6. So Danny's reporter leads trying to solve the mystery, which is actively something Sydney is not interested in happening. That's fun.
Because she knows her boss killed him.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Sydney discovers Russian ciphers in some books that her dad had bought for her mother. She gives them to Vaughn for analysis. The deciphered messages contain orders that directly relate to the murders of 12 CIA agents 20 years beforehand, including Vaughn's father. Sid and Vaughn think Dad Jack was a KGB spy, but Jack and CIA officials explained that the spy was not Jack, but Sydney's mom.
Is this picture of Jack right here? Is he wearing a nicotine patch on his face?
I'm guessing he got
injured. Yeah,
I'm making a joke, guys. Come on. I'll use the sarcasm.
You don't put your nicotine patches on your cheek. You apply directly to forehead. I need it to my brain.
All spies everywhere are after everything Rambaldi. Rambaldi was a 15th century inventor and prognosticator. His inventions were often centuries ahead of their time, and 47 is his special number.
Siri defined prognosticator. Person who... Okay, cool. Oh, that's cool. Didn't know what that was. That's what that meant.
Do you want to share with the class, Victor?
No, I already closed Siri. But it's someone who shares prophecies. So
a real Nostradamus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nostradamus.
There are manuscripts, inventions, and machines encoded with encoded information. All of the prophecies Rambaldi have made have found to be true. Much better track record than Nostradamus.
Yeah.
At the
but
front
Nostradamus,
of the Rambaldi
I believe,
hunt,
did have a jelly recipe. So, where's that Rambaldi?
Jelly.
At the front of the Rambaldi hunt is an organization with no name, headed by the Man, who is believed to be Cashnow, ex-KGB. Also identified with this organization is a hitman named Sark. One prophecy says that a great evil will be unleashed caused by a woman. Sid fits the picture and all of the physical pointers, but so does Sid Mom, who Sid and Jack learned did not die. Now the CIA and Sid are trying to find Mom, but for different reasons. Will's research is discovered by SD6. Jack tries to stop Will without killing him. Will is kidnapped by masked men and is threatened effectively and ceases. He's now off at the SD6 hit list, but then his informant tells him that the masked man was Jack.
Yeah.
Will goes to see Jack for answers after leaving his story with a friend to be published in case he disappears. Jack says he's a good guy and asks for Will's help to find the identity of Will's informant. After this, we get a little about Sloan here. His wife, Emily, is dying of cancer. Unfortunately, she reveals in a conversation with Sid that is being monitored by SD6 that she knows about SD6. The rules say that she must be killed, but Sloan pleads for her life with the Alliance. He says she is being killed already by her cancer. She is granted a reprieve, but then goes into remission. Once again, Sloan is told that she must die, so he takes her to a lovely seaside cottage and offers her a glass of doctored wine.
The seaside cottage. I wonder if that's the same seaside cottage that we see in the finale.
Maybe.
It could possibly be. Yeah.
I got a deal on this place, Vaughn. My boss killed his wife here.
Will dangles a carrot to flesh out the tipster. He mentions the circumference with Jack.
That is what
Jack
I
tells
referenced
him to
on
do.
all of my Tinder dates.
100%. Tipster directs Will to meet him in Paris and brings him at gunpoint to a nightclub owned by Cassanow. Sydney, on assignment to track Cassanow and not informed by her dad or Will, sees this happening. Will gets a big surprise as he watches Sid go into spy mode and rescue him from the bad guys. Will is put into a CIA safe house where Sid visits him and explains that she can't really explain her life.
All right,
Unfortunately, Sark kidnaps Will and takes him to Taipei for interrogation and a little light torture. They want to find out what he knows about the circumference, which is nothing. They want a ransom for his life demanded from Sid. They want a missing Rambaldi page.
No. This screenshot here of Bradley Cooper. I'm saving this. This is gold. He's just
He's having a bad day.
I'm gonna have to turn that into our
Episode artwork.
cover up. Yeah, episode
Yeah.
artwork. Yes.
Sid and Jack decide to ransom Will themselves. They steal the Rambaldi page and arrange to take it to Taipei. Vaughn suspects that they are going to do something like this. Even though he is under orders not to get involved, he decides to privately offer his help. So Sid, Jack, and Vaughn fly to Taipei. Jack successfully trades the Rambaldi page for Will and gets a big hug from a grateful Will. Meanwhile, Sid and Vaughn go to a warehouse where Kusanow's people are building the circumference, which is a gigantic version of what Sid stole in the first episode of this season. They need to destroy it. When they do, that big red ball thingy breaks open and floods the corridors with water. Oh, so it's like, okay, so it's like the thing at the end of the show, too. Only instead
Kinda.
of blood dodgeball, it's water dodgeball.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It does look. It's got the same texture. Okay, well that's a nice. If they did that, that's a nice bookend to the entire series.
Full
bringing
circle.
it back around. So,
Yeah. When
A
they
full
do, that red
circumference.
ball thing breaks open and floods the corridors with water. Sid barely escapes, but Vaughn is caught in the flood. This looks exactly like the scene from Lost with the Hobbit drowning.
What?
Drowning
Either
the
you've
Hobbit
seen
is
it or
what
you
I say
haven't.
on my Hinge profile, but
Did you already move to season 2?
Now I'm about
yet.
to. Sid tries desperately to free him, but is caught herself by the bad guys. Sid comes to discover that she is the prisoner of the man, and that this person is actually her mother, Laura Bristow, a.k.a. Irina Drevnikov.
Wait a minute. You're saying this dude who's drowning? You say that he looks like a hobbit?
I'm
No,
saying that the
in-
scene
in Lost
looks
they drown
just
a
like-
hobbit.
Oh
Yeah,
no!
they drown a hobbit in Lost.
Why would they
yeah.
do that?
It's
ratings.
Dominic Monaghan, right?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Because I don't think Billy Boyd dies in Master and Commander. I'm trying to think of other times where a hobbit could have drowned.
I might be misremembering the character that drowns too. It's been a long time getting from there to here.
All right.
Season 2.
I'll read season 2.
Go for it.
So we can hand it off. All right. So Sydney discovers that her mother is alive. Called it holding her prisoner in Taipei, and is actually the ringleader of an international secret espionage network. Who isn't in this show? Sid is shot in the shoulder by Mom, but manages to escape. Will's story was published, and he's now in deep, and this is quoting the website, doodah, and is targeted for SD6 assassination. until Jack quickly thinks up a way to discredit Will in the public's eye to save the man's life. He injects Will with heroin, and Will claims to be a heroin addict who made up the SD6 story. Meanwhile, Sydney travels to one of her mom's hideaways in France, discovering Vaughn there, in a semi-conscious state about to undergo an unscheduled surgery. Can you schedule a secret, organ-stealing surgery? She rescues him and they escape. She returns to learn that Mom, a.k.a. Arena, has turned herself into the CIA, claiming she wants to cooperate, but Arena will only talk to Sydney. Sydney finds it rough going at first, facing her traitorous mom. She's not traitor. She was KGB. She was on the. She didn't. She was doing her job. But she seems to be building some relationship with her, and goes to her mom for info about her missions. So she is lecturing with her mom. Sloan is inaugurated into the Alliance of 12, currently 11. At the same time, he begins to be troubled by phone calls and flowers that seem to come from his dead wife, Emily. He asks Jack Briscoe to investigate quietly. Vaughn is not happy dealing with Arena. He knows this woman killed his father, but he does so for Sydney's sake. And Jack is convinced that his ex-wife is dangerous and should not be trusted. Yeah, buddy. Also, not ex-wife, because you never got divorced. You just think she's dead. The CIA begins to venture to retrieve more Rumbaldi artifacts. Don't do that. That Arena's organization knew about, and the organization's secret archives, trying to stay one step ahead of SD6. So far, they've got a music box with a cold fusion-type formula encoded into the music. Will is enlisted to help out the CIA, but he's not a spy, alas for my points. And he knows now everything and might even remember more under hypnosis. Ooh. Frankie, meanwhile, is totally in the dark about all the spy stuff and is opening a restaurant. I hope she has Weiss as a chef. Jack frames Arena to get her away from Sydney. Sid finds out, and Jack confesses to the CIA, getting him into deep doodah, not hyphenated this time. No consistency on this website. He gets into even deeper doodah with Sid when she finds out that he had her put her into a child spy training program when she was 6.
Oh man, I guess that explains where they got the Sydney stand-in in that one episode with the flashbacks to the
Checks out.
So Sid is finding it difficult to trust either parent. Yes, Dad, you put me in a CIA training program, but Mom murders people, and these are the same to me. Vaughn starts to investigate possible KGB connections between the Spy Kids program and IQ testing in the U.S. Wonder if this has anything to do with Shark Kid or Shark Girl and Lava Kid or whichever one it is. I've never seen a Spy Kids. He hires Will to help, and Will discovers something weird happening with the 1982, and Frankie opens her restaurant at last. Last season, Cliffhanger comes back to haunt Vaughn as it turns out it gave him a deadly virus. With help from Arena, Sydney retrieves an antidote for Vaughn's virus and also discovers Vaughn has a girlfriend who is waiting for him at the hospital. Sark and Sloan strike a deal to combine forces in their Rambaldi hunt, so now Sark is working for SD6. The Bristows strike a deal to go on a mission together in Kashmir, we've seen this, looking for stolen nukes to discover instead a Rambaldi device that might hold the secret to eternal life. Sloan gets a phone call demanding ransom for the return of his wife Emily, who the kidnappers say is alive. This time, he asks the Alliance for help to find the kidnappers. When word comes in that Sloan is getting a secret portal into the electronic Big Brother echelon system, Arena saves the day by finding the portal. There's a portal? I hope it's a web portal. The Alliance sends Arena Kane to SD6 to investigate Emily's kidnapping and death, and Kane decides to go after Jack. After some investigation, Kane puts a tail on Sydney too, whom she's beginning to suspect. After a successful mission to Nice, Vaughn asks Sydney out to dinner, thinking they are far enough away from SD6 for them to be safe. But they're almost caught by Kane's goons, gooning in the shadow. Jack is caught by Kane, but ends up being saved by Sloane, who uses some info Jack found on Kane to have Kane arrested instead. Sloane reveals to Jack that ever since he joined the Alliance, his conversations, locations, and vitals have been constantly monitored through an implant in his neck, and now he's got a bug zapper to trick the implant. With no monitors, Sloane secretly heads to the Philippines, where Emily is alive. I called it. Seems Sloane and Emily faked her death, bilked the Alliance out of the ransom money, and freed Sloane from his monitor. Will and Frankie celebrate his new job at a travel magazine, actually a CIA front, and her restaurant success with a lobster and makeout session. That doesn't feel like that's important to the story. All right. With Sloane away, SD6 gets a new chief named Giger, who goes after Sydney and Jack. Sid learns about a secret server that controls all things Alliance. Suddenly they have the means, and so the CIA raids SD6 and coordinates raids on the Alliance headquarters, thus bringing down both SD6 and the Alliance all at once. No Alliance and non-SD6 means that Sydney and Vaughn can at last smoochy kiss. After the raids, Sark calls Sloane and reveals that Sloane orchestrated the intelligence leaks to Sydney that led to the secret Alliance computer. He also reveals that a genetically altered operative of Sloane's has killed Frankie and taken her place. Sydney, graduating from grad school and hoping to put her spy days behind her, gets a call from Sloane, who confesses that he engineered the whole Alliance downfall, and he'd rather stay in the biz and now she'd rather stay in the biz and get her ex-boss. After the fall of SD6, Marshall goes to work for the CIA as the newest tech wizard, but Dixon, disillusioned with a wife who does not want him to be a spy, decides to leave the biz. But when Sid is kidnapped, Dixon comes back to save her and joins the CIA. Jack persuades the CIA and Arena to help him go after a Rambaldi manuscript, a special magic book affair. Only problem is that Arena escapes CIA custody and joins Sloane with the manuscript. That bitch. Emily joins Sloane in Europe, discovers that Sid's mom is not dead, and that Arvin is still a bad spy. So Emily decides to turn Arvin into the CIA, but is caught in the crossfire and is killed. I read, so Dixon accidentally shoots Sloane's wife.
Ooh.
Using hypnosis on Will, evil Frankie accesses satellite footage, so Sloane knows that, okay, here we go, Dixon killed Emily. So now Sloane kills Dixon's wife. Sloane
How
is now
are they working together in 2 seasons?
I don't know. Sloane, disillusioned with Emily's death, goes to Tibet to visit a monk who was the one who introduced him to Rambaldi and shows him that this time it's time for Sloane to complete Rambaldi's plans. The CIA trace the satellite link to Will's account and arrest him. Arena confesses to Sydney that she turned herself into the CIA to find out where the cache of U.S. Rambaldi stuff was, and now she's stealing all the shit. Arena sends the intel to clear Will, who tries to find out who framed him. While Sid and everybody are in Zurich, checking out a warehouse where they say Sloane stashed the Rambaldi stuff. They are not his Rambaldi stuff. Jack and another Rambaldi artifact are captured by Sloane. We saw that. Sloane tells Jack now he has the making of a war machine called the Telling. The warehouse raid was fruitless, and Arena realizes that Sloane must have known she would betray him. And here we get to what stuff we saw. Sid and everybody raid a building in Mexico City where they find Jack and almost capture Sloane. Arena, who was also there, escapes, telling her that the prophecy is actually Sid and not her, and she must stop Sloane. Will discovers that Frankie is a double and a bad guy and gets stabbed, and then they fight it out and punch, kick, dead. After passing out, Sid comes to in an unfamiliar alley in Hong Kong, and it's 2 years in the future, where we see that Vaughn is now married. All right, on to Season 3.
Season 3.
You want to take that one, Vic?
I will do this. I will attempt to read as best as I possibly can. All right. Season 3. For Sydney, it's been 2 years worth of amnesia. Things have changed. Dixon is head of the CIA group. Marshall and Carrie are having a baby. Vaughn has left the CIA and is married. So first day back at work is a little weird. The other news is that Sloane has a pardon. He's a consultant for the CIA and is head of OmniFam, a World Health Organization. Jack's been in solitary for a year, working with Irina R.E. Sid's murder. Sid makes a bargain with... Okay. Sid makes a bargain with the NSC for Dad's release. Jack reveals he knew Sydney was alive just before he was arrested, and he found a video of Sid killing a Russian diplomat. The new bad guys are called the Covenant. Their motives are unknown. The NSC assigns a new liaison to help the CIA, and it's Vaughn's wife, Lauren Reed. Now, we totally missed her. Vaughn returns to the CIA, so he gets to work with the wife, Lauren, and ex-squeeze Sid, which means a lot of angst. NSC assigns Lauren to find the killer of the Russian diplomat, Lazare. Lazare. That does not sound like a Russian name. Oh, maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. Lazare. No, that's Italian. Okay. Whom Sid killed in the video, and it turns out that Lazare is Sark's dad. Sydney gets a clue to the missing 2 years. She's called Julia Thorne by a freelancer. Vaughn overhears, but Dixon orders him not to tell Lauren because NSC would lock Sid up. Sark springs a competent bigwig named Bomani from jail. Sloane's pardon was based on turning in Bomani to the authorities, so Sloane is now in trouble. Sloane avoids dismemberment by Bomani by promising to help him, and then goes to CIA and says he'll be a double agent for them, with Sid as his handler. Jesus, man, they're just shaking up the chain of command here. Okay. Another surprise is Allison is alive. She was saved by the Covenant and a Rambaldi medicine. Man, who had a freaking hard-on for Rambaldi in the writer's room? And she gives another clue. The Covenant needs Sydney alive because they want something that's in Sid's memory. Sloane gives Sydney a note supposedly from Sydney herself, sent to him shortly before she reappeared in Hong Kong with a code and a key, leaving Sydney to an address in Rome via Thorne's apartment. Not happy with Dixon, Lindsay takes over the JTF. Lauren gets the info that Sid is Lazarly's killer from Sark and tells Lindsay to Vaughn's dismay. Sid gets arrested in Rome. She gets threatened with invasive brain surgery unless she deciphers another code. Jack, Vaughn, and Sloane help Sydney escape. Lauren is also helping, who didn't realize Lindsay was going to torture Sydney. Once free, Sid and Jack go to the coordinates that were in the deciphered Roman code that Lindsay wanted. They find a box buried in the desert containing a severed hand with the Rambaldi symbol. Sid goes to see a doc recommended by Sloane to get her memories back, and he gives her drugs. She starts to remember in a drugged dream state. In the dream, Sydney sees herself cutting a cake labeled Saint Aidan, but the cake turns out to be Lazarly's hand. That's some cellular peptide cake vibes.
I'm the hand in the box.
In the cake.
Too much Rambaldi
shit. She then tries to get to door 47. Nice 47 reference, thank you. But is stopped by her... What? She then tries to get to door 47, but is stopped by herself.
This is in a dream sequence.
Oh, right. Okay, never mind. I was hoping I would get my points for a clone. But it doesn't matter. I lost anyway. She learns the Covenant kidnapped her, but losing her memories was her own idea. She opens door 47, finds Will Tippin. Hey! He returns. Sid goes real-world searching for Will, who is living a new life in the Witness Protection Program. Will is shocked to see Sydney alive. Will says St. Aidan was the name of a contact he had in the CIA. He arranges a meeting, and it turns out St. Aidan is Lazarly, but minus a hand. Lazarly asks if they found it in Graz just before he's kidnapped. Leading Sid and Will to a Rambaldi cube and a vial containing living tissue. CIA, Jack and Vaughn try to make Sydney's jailbreak seem like a Covenant deal and trade Sid for a Rambaldi machine the CIA has. Lindsay's not buying it, so he arrests them and Dixon too. Lindsay demands Sloane arrange for an assassin to kill Sid. Jack, Vaughn, and Dixon return to the JTF. The cube is stolen from the CIA. Sid is kidnapped. When she wakes, she finds herself with Kendall, who knows the whole story about those 2 years. It seems that Kendall learned the story from Sid herself. Sid was kidnapped by the Covenant the night of the Allison fight. They substituted a fake body they planted with her own DNA And for 6 months, Sid was brainwashed into believing she was a hired killer named Julia Thorne. But that Project Christmas training from Jack made the brainwashing ineffective. So Sid plays along, but calls Kendall at the first possible moment, 9 months after her death. Kendall needs Sid to work as a double with the Covenant, but Sid wants to go home. When she sees Vaughn with his new girlfriend, she agrees to being Kendall's new agent. Meanwhile, in the Covenant, Sydney meets Lazarly, who she was given orders to kill. The two of them spend months looking for the Rambaldi cube, which they discover in a cave in Nambia. Again with the caves. Sid also finds out that the Covenant wants the cube to fertilize eggs they extracted from her for a Rambaldi second coming. So Sid decides to hide the cube and erase her own memories. Kendall said nothing till the cube was stolen, then decided Sydney needed to know. Seems that Dixon was also in the know but sworn to secrecy, and apologizes to Sid for not saying anything. CIA discovers the cube. They go to the lab and destroy Sydney's eggs and the cube. They also rescue Lazarly. On the way home, Lazare asks Sydney about the passenger. Before he can say anything more, he is shot. And surprise, Lauren Reed Vaughn is revealed as the assassin. Turns out she's Covenant, and she and Sark get to be in charge of the North American ops for the group. Irina might be missing this season, but Jack sends her a request for help in rescuing Sid. Irina's sister Kayla arrives, willing to strike a deal since it's all in the family. Oh, Katya, yeah. On Jack's recommendation, Lonely Sloan starts to meet with Shrink Dr. Barnett and reveals a dark secret. He says he had an affair with Irina and that Sid is his daughter. The Covenant kidnaps Dixon to force Dixon to steal from Kendall's group a Rambaldi box with Irina on the lid. Lauren frames Sloan, who is arrested and sentenced to death, but Sloan tells Jack his actions were legal since he was recruited by a Black Ops government group called The Trust. Seems the Covenant has all the pieces to, is that Ildire? It looks like I.L. Dyer. I don't know. Courtesy of Lauren thefts and the Irina box. Turned on, it gives a message, peace, in Greek, Irina. Okay, so I guess Irina is Greek for peace. And the DNA sequence of the passenger. Rambaldi monk Conrad tells Sid that the passenger is her sister. She's also Sloane's daughter, the result of his affair with Irina. Vaughn discovers his wife is a Covenant double agent. Jack discovers Irina had an affair with Sloane, but decides to help Sloane escape execution. Jack, Sloane, and Sid team up to find the passenger. They find her in jail in Chechnya. Her name is Nadia, and she's an Argentinian spy. Sloane needs her to channel Rambaldi via some elixir. And that is a shit ton of ruses that are season 3.
All right.
Yeah.
Ben, what's up? Ben, you're muted. Oh, shit.
I was not expecting to get the actually Jack is Sid's dad after finding out that Jack is not Sid's dad's point.
Well then.
Very
Did you
excited
score those?
right now. I did not. So that's 4 more points for me. I don't think I get it, but that was my first that was my first gambit of the season of the show. So I'm just happy I got that.
Yeah. Season 4 begins where Season 3 ended, with Sydney uncovering a shocking classified document called SAB-47 Project. Fucking 47s. It is explained that the document authorized Jack to execute Sydney's mother, who had mysteriously placed a contract on Sydney's life. Sydney joins a Black Ops division of the CIA, patterned after SD6, and run by her one-time nemesis, Arvin Sloan. The new division is dubbed APO, Authorized Personnel Only.
Oh.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Members of APO, all handpicked by Sloan, include almost all of the reoccurring characters from previous seasons, including Jack, Vaughn, Sydney's former partner and third season CIA director Marcus Dixon, the computer and technical genius Marshall Finkman, and Vaughn's colleague Eric Weiss, brought in after having to be rescued by Sydney and Vaughn, who he previously believed to have left in the CIA. Sloane's daughter and Sydney's half-sister, Nadia Santos, also eventually returns to join APO. Oh, okay. So no, Ben. Sid is not Sloane's daughter. I don't think she ever thinks she's Sloane's daughter. I think that was saying that Nadia is I think it was just confirming Nadia was the Sloane's daughter, not Sid. I think
In
Sloane
the season 3
thinks Sid.
recap, he says,
Yeah, I
hey,
know. I know
had
what
a
you're
se-
saying. No. So it's what I'm going to find the line again. So you're talking. The passenger is her sister. She's also
He
Sloane's
says
daughter. The
he
result
said he
of,
had an affair with Arena, and that Sid is his daughter.
Yeah, so he thinks that,
Yes.
but it's actually Nadia.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
That's
it was a
right.
ruse, and Jack is in fact his father. So the whole point of the gambit was we learn at one point that Jack is not Sid's dad.
Okay.
And then we learn again that Jack is Sid's dad.
Okay, I
Eat that
understand
peanut
now.
chip. That looks yummy.
They are
Go to
tortilla
Crunch
chips,
Town. Oh, okay.
and they are delicious.
All right, let's keep rolling with season 4.
All right. APO undertakes missions in a similar style to what SD6 supposedly once did. They do missions with which the CIA does not want to get involved or does not want to be tied down with bureaucracy. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, the CIA
During the
totally restrained by rules and bureaucracy.
Famously. During the season, an Arvin Sloane impersonator, jokingly referred to as Arvin Clone, acquired the technology to implement a Rambaldi-predicted apocalypse. Using Omnifam, the real Sloane had polluted the world's drinking water with chemicals that caused feelings of peace and tranquility. However, these feelings can be reversed with the Mueller device. The third Dravenko sister, Elena, had built a giant Mueller device in Sovogod, Russia, which drove the residents to insanity. Sid, Jack, Arena, Nadia, and Vaughn parachute in, destroy the device, and kill Elena. But Nadia is injected with the tainted water and driven insane. She battles Sydney until Sloane is forced to shoot his own daughter. Nadia is later put into a coma while a cure is sought and Arena escapes again. The season concludes with Sydney and Vaughn becoming engaged.
Hey.
On a trip to Santa Barbara, Vaughn confides a shocking secret. His name isn't Michael Vaughn, their initial meeting wasn't coincidental, and that his allegiance may not be to the CIA. But before he can divulge any more information, another car hits theirs and the season ends.
What the what?
Which takes us to season 5.
Yeah.
Which
right.
as it begins...
I got this one.
You got it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
It's
got
shorter,
this
so
one.
I was just going to do both. It's
Yeah.
fine. Go for it.
Season 5 begins with Vaughn abducted. Sydney learns that Vaughn is under suspicion of being a double agent. Who isn't at this point? I mean, seriously. And that the crash may have been cover for his extraction. Vaughn later escapes and explains to Sydney that his real name is André, and he reveals that he is investigating a secret operation known as Prophet 5, which at one point involved his father. During a mission recovering a Prophet 5 book, Sydney receives another magic book. Sydney receives a phone call from her doctor with untimely news. She's pregnant, a development created to deal with the actress's real-life pregnancy. Vaughn is later shot and apparently killed on the orders of Prophet 5 operative Gordon Dean. 4 months later, as Sydney continues to investigate Vaughn's murder, she works with an assassin and associate of his in order to unearth the inner workings of Prophet 5, at the same time trailing Dean and his criminal organization, The Shed, disguised as Black Ops CIA division, very much like SD6. 2 new members are added to APO to replace Weiss, who did not die. I did look this up. He gets promoted and then goes to be on Heroes. Who moved to Washington, D.C. for a new job, and Nadia, who is still in a coma. Thomas Grace, Tom, is a brash young agent with unorthodox methods who often butts heads with Sydney. And Rachel Gibson is an Orion, computer specialist like Sydney, who was deceived into thinking she was working for the real CIA and works as a mole within the Shed, as did Sydney with SD6 before the Shed's destruction. In an ongoing subplot, Sloane follows his own personal obsession finding a cure for Nadia. Sloane is jailed for his actions during Season 4, however he is released after the sentencing committee is manipulated by Dean. In exchange for his freedom, Sloan is now working for Dean as a mole within APO. Unaware of Sloan's new allegiance, Jack agrees to allow Sloan to rejoin APO and use its resources to seek a cure for its daughter. With the series end, it emerges that Sloan's ultimate goal is that of immortality, for which he sacrifices Nadia's life. However, he is trapped forever in Rambaldi's tomb by a critically wounded Jack, who sacrifices himself to avenge all the pain Sloan caused Sydney over the years. Sydney tracks Sark to the horizon and the horizon to Hong Kong, finding Arena. After a final battle where they are defenestrated and then de-roofistrated, Arena plunges to her death. It ends with our flash forward, and we see our people meeting, and then Isabella builds the Jenga tower and then knocks it down, perhaps signaling she will not follow in her mother's footsteps.
Oh, that's what that means. Okay.
Maybe. Who knows? Only J.J. Abrams.
Yeah. Well, that was fun.
Fair?
That was Alias,
Yes.
all right.
There
There
is
you have
one
it,
thing I
ladies and
did want
gentlemen.
to read to you,
Alias.
though.
Okay.
Because I was very excited when I read this, because I had my prediction after we saw that photograph from the park where, oh no, is Emily Sloan dead? And it's like, that is a terrible photo. Is this HD upscaling, or is this a bad ruse? This is from the Emily Sloan page on the Alias wiki. Arvin agrees to go through with the exchange in order to find the kidnapper. But the exchange didn't go as planned. Arvin found pictures of Emily in a newspaper vending machine. She has already been killed. Passage Part 2. However, this was all a ruse. Emily is still alive. Arvin orchestrated the whole thing so they could be free from the Alliance forever. The actual Alias Wikipedia page is like,
Using
it
the
was a
word ruse.
ruse.
It was a ruse.
Fantastic. Okay.
Ruses.
So normally we total up points and do all that stuff and figure out who won, but based off of the preview of that, we already know what up. So
Congrats. Shafira wins
Dang, I
again.
only got to 21.
yeah,
Damn it.
I'm at 26, not counting the married points,
Hang
because
on,
they get engaged and then we flash
They
forward
are
and they're
married.
presumably married. They're married. Okay. Then that puts
Also,
me at
there is another
28.
boyfriend who dies in the course of this show, so I did get to my 2 more dead boyfriends.
Nice.
But
I'm happy for you. So we have our go back episode choices, right? We have the top rated episode, which is season 2, episode 13, phase 1 on IMDb. And we can do that. Or while
Danny
I was
Trejo
scrolling
episode?
around on this website, well, there's episodes that have a couple famous people that we could pick as a guest star.
Yeah.
But I was scrolling around this website, and this is the screen cap for an episode. I put it in the group chat. Listener, I'm letting them find it real quick. But they're going to see that it's a mustached Marshal wearing a cowboy hat.
is this in the text
The
chat
text or
or
the Discord?
in Discord?
This is Discord.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I want to watch this episode
Yes.
with Marshall and the cowboy
Yes,
hat.
1,000% yes.
So if we're on board for that, that's what we'll do. It's season 5 episode, or season
my
3
God.
episode 5, Repercussions. Let's see how this episode is rated.
Well, hang on.
Please let it be bad. Please let it be the worst episode of the show. And I'm going to make a challenge before Jafar reads this. Before we watch this episode, when we come back next week to record, I want you all to wear your worst hat while we record.
Oh, I know exactly
I don't own
what
a
to wear.
bad hat, Ben.
That's not true, Jafar.
I own absurd hats. I own hats that I shouldn't wear.
We're gonna have
yes,
LTO
okay.
Silly Hat Day.
Quick scrolling, it appears to be tied for among the worst episodes in the show. It's rated a 7.4. The lowest I've seen is 7.4s and 7.3s. Most episodes are high 7s or low 8s, at least in the first 3 seasons. Yeah, season 4, it's looking like 7.5s up to 8.3. And then, okay, there's a 7.1 in season 5. There's 2 7.1s. So I guess those would be the worst episodes of the show.
Well-
but it would this one's easily bottom 5 on IMDb. So,
Awesome.
Okay, so speaking of ratings of episodes, I want you guys to go to open up IMDb.
Yeah.
Go to season 2, episode 13. This is the highest rated episode of the season at a 9.0. And just click through the screen caps of this. There's only 10 of them. And I think you'll see why this is the highest rated episode.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of screen caps of this one scene. Wait, there's multiple outfits?
Yeah, yep. This is
season 2,
just
episode 10?
Season 2, episode 13. There's just some, quite a few. Okay, well, there's a red skimpy lingerie suit that Jennifer Garner's wear, and then there's like pretty much the same thing in all black, and that's
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd rather watch the cowboy hat episode.
Yeah. I mean, if I want that, I know where to get that on the internet. I don't need to go to ALIAS to get that. Yeah, cowboy hat episode it is.
Okay.
Boy.
Which one is it again?
This is season 3, episode 5, Repercussions. While Vaughn's life hangs in the balance, Lauren butts heads with Sydney after learning the part she played in his stabbing. Meanwhile, Sydney further questions Sloane's allegiances after he is kidnapped by Bomani, a kingpin in the Covenant.
And you said that did you say that was season 4, episode 5?
Season 3.
Wow, my brain's all over the place. Sorry, I was saving those pictures of Jennifer Garner on my hard drive.
That's fine.
No, I'm joking.
There's another photo from this episode in the IMDb of Marshall in that cowboy hat and ridiculous mustache. It is clearly him undercover on a mission with Sydney.
Yeah.
This is it. This is what we're doing. Hell yeah.
Okay, I look forward to this. This is ridiculous. I love it.
Yeah. So we'll be back with that next week. But before we get there, we should probably say thank you.
Oh, are you going to leave us hanging? You're not going to tell us what the next series you picked is?
I don't know what it is. I'm not
okay.
picking it.
Oh, right. Never mind.
Except
Sorry,
Laura.
Laura's picking it. Ah, God, dude.
And
I
I
will-
can't see
Victor.
shit in this helmet. I'm sort of taking this off. For you at home, I am wearing my my Wedge Antilles X-Wing helmet in this hat.
Get clear, Ben. You can't do any more good back there.
Sorry.
I'm recording with Laura tomorrow, so I'll tell her the news then and try and get a pick. So that way when we come back into our comeback episode, I'll know. But until then, we should probably say thank you to Ripe. We will say thank you to Ripe. Ripe. Grammy noms just dropped. Y'all got robbed.
Bullshit.
To be perfectly honest, looking at a handful of things that were nominated, I feel like your most recent album is significantly better than a handful of the nominations for Album of the Year. It's a bummer. And I don't even know if you were submitted or whatever, but you got a really good fucking album, and I really enjoy it. And thanks so much for letting us use Goon Squad as the theme music. We appreciate the hell out of it.
And the music video for Get You Home just dropped. Check it out.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you, listener. Thank you for coming back to listen to our ridiculous little podcast here. If you enjoy our podcast, please go to iTunes or Facebook or wherever you get our podcast. Leave us a review. And if you leave us a 5-star review, we will read out your review here on the show and give you a shout out. And if you don't like our show, well, just keep that shit to yourself.
And we'll see you next time on Last Time On.